Yo, yo, yo. I'm on the two different things as usual. YouTube to my left and Facebook right here. Let me adjust these cameras so it's more evenly pointed at my ugly face. Uh, Thank you guys. As you can hear through the wonders of modern medicine, my voice is back. Um, it was strange. Uh, Through sickness and stress and things like that. It happened a couple years ago where my voice, what's going on, everybody? My voice actually left, you know. No, Bobo, you know what happened? I'm on y'all time. My clocks were still running. I just landed a couple hours ago. My clocks were still on the central time, so I'm thinking I'm on time. And then I got to start getting the things that everybody was saying that were late. So I was like, damn. Then I looked at the clocks. I'm like, oh shit, I'm late for Eastern time for my time. But yeah, my voice might go crazy here and there, and I'm trying not to yell at anybody. That way I can save it. But actually, it's a million times better than yesterday. So still got a little raspiness to it, but it this morning was a blessing because yesterday I sort of sounded like Mr. T. The day before that, it was Kermit the Frog, and the day before that, it was totally silent. So it's good to be able to talk again. After 4 days of not being able to talk at all, and three of trying to struggling, and especially for somebody who talk as much shit as I do. But excuse me, that's one of the problems. But I wasn't yelling at nobody, man. Like I say, sometimes I don't hide what I go through. Sometimes I have little bouts with panic attacks, you know, and I take mostly like different medicines to keep my body regular, hormone levels regular. I do blood tests a lot, and that seems to help it out a lot. But every now and then I'll have these moments where my body go through these weird attacks. I can't even explain it, but it's just like a full body cramp is what it feels like. It's somewhat painful and frustrating at times. Even the jaw. Nobody wants to hear about Alabama, man. I'm a Buckeye through and through, man. What's going on, Mr. Woods? I gave this thing a little bit of time. I'm gonna tell you, I got a lot of shit to talk about, but I'm not gonna do it all on this one because, as my doctor instructed me to still keep things limited, so I won't stay on my usual 2 hours. But I'll tell you this, man, y'all stop it with this roll tide. Y'all better be glad them Buckeyes didn't get in there for we could have handed y'all an ass whooping like the last time we saw y'all in the tournament. Yeah, they gave y'all the 101 ranked defense. So I'm pretty sure that even though I like Oklahoma, that's not going to be a good game. Oklahoma can put up some points, though. But we're going to address this Merle topic. I could talk football all day. Over the last few days, you know, I've seen a number of lies, a number of things that have me shaking my head. And, my good friend James, he asked me the question, uh, you know, what does what I say have to do with the TBKC? First off, I want to tell y'all this. My friend James Lewis, that's my guy, man. We don't agree all the time, but I got mad love for him. He a good brother, do tons of things in the community. Ain't nothing but love for that big guy. But I tell you this. When I speak all the time, and I understand that I'm the face of the TBKC at this moment, you don't put everything that I say to the TBKC. And this is the reason being is because Bully Rants was before the TBKC. Hall of Fame Kennels was 20 years before the TBKC. It's a lot of history, my personal history in this dog world, and especially with the American Bully, that you have to separate me from my position with the TBKC sometimes. The TBKC is its own entity and it will function as its own entity. It's just that simple. So it's just like when I speak on anything, you know what I mean? I could be speaking on anything from dogs to a woman with a big butt. It doesn't have anything to do with the TBKC. That's Terrell talking. But if I start mentioning the TBKC and how our shows will be ran, that's the TBKC. I do things that aren't allowed in the TBKC. Like I told y'all, my Dobermans technically wouldn't be allowed in the TBKC at all. You know, they're going to be far too big. But guess what? Me personally and what I like and what's allowed in the TBKC show ring is two different things, and it doesn't matter what I think about that, you know? Which I do think that it shouldn't be, you know, allowed. But let's talk this Merle thing. I've hesitated enough. When the American Bully was started, the American Bully, as we all know, was supposed to be composed of two dogs, which we know today to be a lie because so many people have mixed things in. But still, just because other people have done other things to the dog doesn't change the premise of what the dog is supposed to be. The dog was supposed to be a staffy, and the dog was supposed to be. Why everyone acts? No, I'm not on this shit. I'm actually sitting. What do they call these things? I don't know. Y'all know where. D-line, go sit down, man. This guy. But Max, no, you can't come in. You'll come in later, okay? I'll call you, and you can come say hi. But the pit bull and the staffy was what these dogs were supposed to be. Comprised of. So the standard was actually written by that. You know what I mean? The toilet is over there, Stephanie. I'm sitting on a bench. I'm going to show you. I'm sitting on a bench. It's like one of those medical benches or whatever. I like it when I'm getting my hair cut. It's very comfortable. But I tell you what. See, I just eliminated all these shitting comments. It's a little stool, you know, I think you're supposed to give people like sit in the shower with it or some shit. But no, I'm not. But what I'll tell you about the Merle is this, and this goes to the American Bully. Remember, I'm speaking for myself, not the TBKC or any of that. I'm speaking for myself. When we started this thing, hey, Felina, Will, Kathy, I got to shout out to my people. Tony, those were the two dogs that the whole standard came off of. Now, if you notice, a pit bull does not have a Merle. The pit bull doesn't have a Merle. In standards, the pit bull doesn't have a Merle. It's a disqualification. The staffy cannot have a Merle. It's a disqualification. So, with that said, I'm feeling a lot better, Marlene. I still got some work to do. I know I got to get some rest and things, but I'm eating, back to normal, and I'm feeling good. I hope you feeling better so we can get back on this show this week. I tell you what, we followed that. Now, to see Dave come out and kiss ass to people with the Merles talking about, I agree with you, and, it came about in 2015 where there was this big push for no Merles, and, you just have to prove that the Merles can be bred healthy. It's nonsense. And once again, it shows that Dave is a sellout motherfucker. I told y'all when I come back, I'm back to who I was. It's hard for me. I'll bite my tongue some with the cursing because I know kids listen to this, and I'm sorry, kids, but I'm going to have to tell it like it is. Dave is a flat-out sellout. For him to be a leader in this community, this is one of the reasons why many leaders don't respect him at all. He's a sellout. At no point in time has the American Bully ever had a Merle gene. When we started, there were people who claimed to breed Merle pit bulls. We told them that Merle pit bulls would not be allowed in the registry. The Merle has been a disqualification from the very inception of the ABKC, which is technically considered the inception of the American Bully. The Merle has never been considered at any point for multiple reasons. For one, as we said, and as Dave has said on the record, is that the two breeds that the American Bully is supposed to be cannot have Merle in them without you mixing something else into them, which would have been a disqualification. That's why the Merle was not allowed. That's exactly why the Merle was not allowed. Now we can go into health issues and other issues, but when it comes down to it, the bottom line of it all is that at no point in time has the Merle ever been considered. The reason today that you see people like Khan and you see ABKC leader and American Bully enthusiast and savior Dave Wilson trying to push the Merle is the same reason that they pushed the oh, y'all give me a second. I'm still medicated now. But, they pushed all of these other dogs, the extreme class. This is the same reasoning. Don't try to make it about dogs when it's not about dogs. Just be real with what you say. I want some money. I see that the Merle has become a popular breed throughout many of our breeds. This Merle pattern has been a thing that's now selling for top dollar. So I want in on that. Say that. Don't lie and say it's always been a part of this breed and contradict yourself when you're talking, because it's always been a disqualification. Listen to what people say and not the bullshit that they're trying to make you hear. Listen to what they say. The man said that the Merle has always been a disqualification, but they've always been a part of the breed. How can something that's disqualified, which by every damn meaning, if you disqualified means you're kicked out, you're not a part, you're not allowed, how has it always been a part of it if it's always been disqualified? No, you want it to be a part of the breed now so you can get a part of that money. And so now, once again, Dave, you're selling out. It's never been a part of it. Y'all think this shit is personal? It's not personal. People worked hard to make the American Bully. A lot of people, day in and day out, follow the rules. A lot of people care about the breed. And to see somebody, lollygag around the whole entire world and fuck the breed up for his own profit, yes, people are going to get mad. If you ask if it's personal, no, it's not personal. This is all about the breed. You never hear me complain anything that they do that helps the breed. You have never heard me complain about anything. You didn't hear me complain when the Bear won the Nationals. It's a nice dog. He deserved to win. You heard me complain when Rocco won the Nationals because, once again, in your whole contradiction there, Dave, our judges had to be brought up to date. It's another thing. A popular dog, you let it be whatever it be. What's going on, Keith? I got to get with you. I just landed a couple hours ago, but I'm back in business. I got a voice, at least for today. If it's a nice dog, we're gonna show the dog some love. It's no problem. I don't care what registry it is. I never tell people to not go out and support another registry. But do the shit right. Don't sell the breed out. At no point in time, any dog, man, I don't care. Y'all go ask Oscar Gomez. You go ask Carlton Pratt. You go ask Sean Mullins. Anybody who's been around, go ask Danny Navarro. Matter of fact, go ask John Easterly, who had the biggest hand in making the breed what it was as far as standards. Has the Merle ever been considered? Anybody that knows anything about the American Bully knows that the Merle was a DQ from the day one. Exactly. Right along with the white bully. You cannot have an all-white bully. You cannot have a Merle. This is facts. But today, this man wants to make money. The same reason that he allowed Dax with his 6-foot rear and his 5-foot head to be in the ring, the same reason why you made a whole entire class, which we know as the extreme class, for flawed up dogs and beat up dogs that had no business being bred, had no business being in a show ring, and had no business at all showing up to a show to represent this breed. Poop, stop. Yeah, it's D-Line, man. You want to come say hi? Yeah. Okay, y'all give me a second. Poop ain't gonna stop till. Come here. Come on. I know you want to come say D-Line. Come on. What you got? You got friends with you? Well, bring your dogs, man. If you're gonna interrupt the show, y'all give me a second. As a father, I gotta deal with this. You want to show them your dogs, or you just want to yell D-Line? You want to say D-Line? D-Line. Yeah, okay. He's showing dog. Y'all give me 1 minute. I got to be a dad for a second. Okay, which one is this? Oh yeah, that's he got good confirmation.
I got this in the store.
Oh, okay, good. He got it from the store. So as long as you ain't buying from Bashar. Hey, let me see that one over there. What we got here? Oh, he nice. Look at
Zuma.
Zuma. Oh, that's a bad man. Zoom up. Look at the top line. No kink. Good feet. Boom. Is that's it? Yeah, that's daddy boy. Okay, one more show. This next one, this is exotic. This is exotic, but you gotta let the kids live. In case he have to one day start pushing petted puppies to take care of his family. It's Rumble. Rumble feet ain't right, but we keep him on the low. As you see, he got bad bite too. His bite is off, but we keep him around because you never know. You gotta have.
He's happy.
He's happy though. Yeah, he is happy. He happy, so my kids might have to start being a puppy peddler to feed their families like some of the other people. So we got to keep an exotic around. All right, you out of here. You put your show on. Hey, one more time, D-line. You gonna do it? Come on, man. You only got a minute. I gave you a minute. Yeah. All right, D-line. Yeah. All right, go, man. Hey, I thank y'all for your patience. All right, go sit down. I love you. I love you too. Oh man. All right, y'all see how that works. Ain't nothing changed here in this household. Poop still takes over the lives even when I lock myself in the bathroom. But yeah, y'all don't y'all tell nobody that poop over here pushing exotics and all that stuff. Wait till I have all the rest of these babies. We're gonna have an army, and all my other kids is probably gonna be bad as shit, and they're gonna beat the hell out of exotics at shows and stuff. But oh man, great to have my voice back. Poop represents D-line to the heart. Poop has gotten to the point. Before I get back into it, he's gotten to the point because I go over it so much with him. You know what I mean? He's going to really be a good dog person. He starts to break him down. He's recognizing bad feet and high rears already. He did it to this lady at the park. It wasn't really a show dog or anything. It was just a little beat up dog. Poop checked her about the dog's feet. But at least he knew it. But he had to tell the lady, your dog's feet. He was trying to show her like how to stack this mud. It was comical, but I was like, damn, I done turned this boy into me, and he's the worst critic ever. But quick question. I guess the quick question is before I start talking about this breed, what is the TBKC going to do? I'm going to give you all this most simple answer about what the TBKC is going to do. We are going to follow the rules. Just that simple. The TBKC is going to follow the rules. That's it. See, the thing that I've learned, and I'll tell you all these stories real quick after this, but the thing that I've learned is that if you can follow rules, you can be successful. And if we want this breed to be successful, you have to follow rules. You can't show up in my ring with crooked ass feet. You can't show up in the ring with a high rear and keep touching the dog. I talked to a wonderful lady yesterday, and she was asking, why do the American bully people touch their dogs so much? The reason why the American bully people touch their dogs so much in the show ring is because they're trying to manipulate a bad structure. See, we're going to see right through that, because at the end of the day, I have no want or need for you to manipulate your dog. What I have a want or need for you to do is to bring in a good dog that you don't have to manipulate. We are striving for greatness, excellence. Y'all remember when I told you Rolls Royce? It's a reason that you don't put a rims on a Rolls Royce. That's a fucking Rolls Royce, man. It ain't nothing else that need to be done to that. I want dogs that you bring in the ring and you don't have to touch him. Let him gallop around the ring and show off how beautiful he is. Let's see his structure. Let's see, because if we are ever going to compete with the other breeds in the world, we have to make dogs that we don't have to make excuses for. The American Bully is the biggest excuse breed ever. When people obviously know that they did some wrong shit, when you got too much bulldog on one side, then you want to talk about everybody does it. When you talk about a high rear, you want to talk about, well, most bullies have high rears because they got the bulldog in them. When we talk about the feet, you want to talk, well, most bullies have bad feet. Well, I'm going to tell you, if most bullies have high rears, bad feet, bad temperament, bad bites, that means that we're about to come close to starting all over, because them bitches are not allowed over here. At what point does our community want excellence, want something better? I want to compete against the AKC. I'm not competing against the ABKC. The reason why I have to comment on their bullshit is because they feature one of our featured breeds. So when you have young breeders that are coming up and you have a person who's supposed to be a very respected person in the community, like a Dave Wilson, telling them lies that it's something right about the Merle and it should be this and it should be that. Listen up, people. If y'all don't know the big issue about the Merles, these are traits that come along with the Merle pattern, and it takes a skillful breeder to breed Merles. You know how I can tell you that is because one of the breeds that we represent, it's legal to have the Merle in there, and that breed would be the Alapaha Blue Blood Bulldog, which I had for almost a decade. The Alapaha was a great experimental dog for me. And I didn't experiment on purpose, but I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things from some very good breeders. Excuse me, a lot of them were hunters. And the one thing that you found out about the Merle pattern, and if any of y'all are doing this, I don't encourage it. It's not allowed at my registry, but I will give you a tip on the Merles. This is one thing you cannot do with the Merles. The obvious thing that you think that you can do with the Merles, you can't do. If you want Merles, you don't breed Merles to get Merles. In any breed, if you want Merles, you breed Merle to a solid pattern dog. That is how you get the Merle. This is why I tell you this, and this is medical facts. When you breed a Merle to a Merle, you compound a very dangerous gene that leads to seizures, it leads to deafness, and it leads to blindness, amongst other issues. Skin issues, all kind of issues come with this, but those are the main ones. Epilepsy, deafness, blindness, and sometimes what we would call mental retardation. You know, this is the truth. This is fact. Go check it, medical fact. And what tends to happen, why I say if you were trying to breed a Merle, just a little bit of Merle education, when you breed two Merles together, this is what happens to Merles. Once again, I'll repeat 100 times. I don't like Merles. I don't think that they should ever be bred. I think it's a very dangerous thing. And if we are here to improve our breed, why put anything into our gene pool that we know could be catastrophic for our gene pool? So that is what I'm telling you. But I'm telling some of y'all are going to breed them anyway. So at least getting a little bit of knowledge on how to breed them. The reason you don't do Merle to Merle is because what happens is the Merle actually starts to disappear. And when it disappears, it turns white. Now, what will happen is you'll notice that the Merle pattern, and I'm already seeing it in some of our dogs, you're seeing white with the Merle now. These breeders are going to breed that again to each other. What will tend to happen is that the dog will get more and more white. Then you start seeing these dogs, and what you see next with these dogs is that the eyes turn this crystal blue color. When they turn that crystal blue color, it's beautiful. Some of y'all have seen, I had an Alapaha named Diesel. Well, that was his real name, but we later named him something else. But this dog was all white with crystal blue eyes, and he could hear, he could see. He had 3 litter mates that looked like him. It was 1 male and 2 females. Unfortunately, all 3 of them had one or the other, and one of them had both of them. Where it was the girl. She couldn't see or hear, and put them down. And the breeder that I was getting these dogs from, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. He was puppy milling himself. Dude owned 200 dogs, you know. But he had some nice ass dogs. But the dog, you know, fortunately, my cousin took mine, and the thing about it is, James, is what it is that blue eye thing. That blue eye is like, it's like the red light. It's like the indicator. When those eyes go crystal blue, that means you are super into the Merle gene. The dog goes white. The crystal blue eyes start to come in. You are getting closer and closer to a point to where you're going to have these problems. The only way to go to sort of counteract that is, for instance, taking your Merle dog to a solid pattern dog like a black dog. Black dogs tend to throw Merle dogs a lot better for whatever reason. We found that out with the bulldogs, that if you took a Merle dog, especially one that was starting to fade, and it was one that used to be named Metallica Steel, and he had a lot of white but with patches, but if you bred Metallica to a lot of solid pattern dogs, he would throw, bam, damn near a whole Merle dog sometimes. But if you bred him back to other Merles, the dogs would go white. That James, that blue eyes and that white coat, I guarantee you, you're at that point in time, your thing is up to the you up to probably 50 to 75% that these puppies are not going to be able to hear or see. Worse yet, one of the biggest problems we ran into when we were doing that is that it was sad, man. 3 to 4 months old, and I don't lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was a part of that. That's why I know so much about Merle dogs. I bred them before. I bred the gene. I didn't necessarily breed for the Merle, but I did breed the gene. And one of the things that we found out is even the ones that look good at 3 and 4 months old start having epilepsy. I mean, horrible epilepsy, to the point where the dog would have one seizure. And this happened on 5 different occasions to me personally, on litters that I seen go out, and it ranged between the 3 to 4 month to, I say the oldest one was close to a year. But by the time the third one happened, I already knew it was gonna happen. The first 2 people who had bought a dog from me, they called me and they said, the puppy's starting to have seizures. And I'm like, okay, well, this isn't a time where video wasn't that, our phones were shitty back then. We talk about, late 90s, early 2000s. So I actually went over to, where was that? Pennsylvania. And I got a chance to see one, And by the time I got there, it was pretty bad, man. I have a hard time looking up thinking about it because it was, at that point when I seen that puppy, man, I just told her, I said, we got to put him down, man, If you replace the puppy, if you want another puppy, or give your money back. But it was horrible. If you never seen anything like that, it'll make you change the way you think about the health of your dogs. I mean, this poor little puppy, I mean, you've seen them when they body spaz and it just like lock up. And the dog would lock up, and his jaw would lock up. But at the same time, he was just twitching, hard. And what happened is this became elevated. It started off with one, and it kept coming. And it kept coming. And the doctor even gave her medicine thinking that they could stop it. But this gene was so embedded in it. And if you look up a dog called the St. Charles Spaniard. It has a serious problem because his lines got too tight. And actually the government in the UK paid and imported other St. Charles Spaniels to breed into their line to stop these seizures. But it's a horrible thing. And the scariest thing for me right now with these Merles is that we have hobby breeders here. We don't have knowledgeable breeders, and I'm not trying to bash our community. Some of us are knowledgeable, some of us are not. Just like we had the guy who put up, the waterhead puppy and was talking about, look at the dome, this is going to be crazy, and everybody looked in shock like, dude, the dog is dying, man. He thought he had the next big thing, and this puppy's head is about to explode. And he's like, look at the head on him. And when you have these type of people breeding these dogs, now we know that Merle commands a lot of money. And we've seen this story before. Things that command a lot of money in our breed tend to be overbred. And I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen, because it happened with dogs with bad hips that we ignored, and now we have a serious problem with hips and high rears. It happened. Y'all can't deny it. It was a point in time where if people would have had integrity and just said this dog shouldn't be bred because of his hip issues or because of this, the way the rear is, our breed would be a lot better off, But it's, it's the lack of knowledge, and it's the lack of caring, because people who know what's going on will tend to lie to protect their, to protect their brand, so to speak. But the knowledge of it is that, y'all gonna see it. And y'all tell me when I'm wrong. Y'all already seeing it. I see more dogs with that crystal blue eye already. Go talk to a Lapahawk breeders. What is that, the Irish Shepherd? They'll tell you too. Pretty sure that's the Irish Shepherd, a real pretty Merle pattern. But I was talking to one of their breeders, and he talked about, one crystal blue eye, I can deal with it. He said 2 of them jokers, we doing too much. And you're starting to see it pop up over and over and over again, in our breed. And we're hobby breeders, we breed for fun, but the sad part is that this is not fun to the dogs, You have to understand, that as we do this, where do the dogs go when we fuck up? That's what, if you want to talk TBKC, that's one of our main concerns. Things are being overbred. We would like to see better education and knowledge for people, at least if you're going to breed quality dogs that may be able to sustain a good life and get out here and be around for a long time. But at this point in time, right now, it's just you buy it, you know, you might not have ever had a dog and you're breeding a dog the next day. You don't understand any of the simple problems. You don't understand any of the genetics of these dogs. Do y'all understand that a dog like the Doberman has been formulated, and I say that, formulated so well that it's like a fine-tuned machine. It has to have these colors. It has to have these looks. You don't see a head. I missed that question there, King Charles. But you know, we have to get on that level to where we're pushing our dogs to be the right thing. This is why I'm a stickler for hips. You can't fix bad hips. You can't fix bad hips. Dogs with bad hips do not do anything for a dog with great hips. They don't do anything for them. All they do is bring down the percentages and bring down the gene pool to have bad hips. That's it. Dogs, you know, if we talking about something minor, like a little bit of a, you know, a kink in your tail or something like that, okay, I've seen that eliminated very, very easily. And I've even seen, you know, an average bad bite eliminated but when you talk about structure issues, elbow issues, when you talk about shoulders, these things are genetically in that dog. You can't change it. And it frustrates us all. It frustrates any real breeder. And it frustrates me to see so-called real breeders and leaders in our community constantly award and go back and forth with this nonsense and never educate. How can you be the greatest at anything and you're not teaching your people who following you how to do it better than you? This has to be better. Simply. It has to be better. We have to learn how to breed our dogs better. I'm still proud that my boy, or our boy Castro, is an 85-pound dog that can run and jump over a fence. Athletic performance is a sign of health. Your dog should not wobble when he moves. This dog should be a machine. The American Bully is a machine. Its ancestry is machines. These dogs could run and move. Even a big dog like King Lion, who was 110 to 120 pounds. King Lion could run you down if you gave him. I could give you, even if you fast, I could give you a 100-yard head start. King Lion would run you down and maul you. Not to say I want anybody to be mauled, but that explains his athleticism. That dog could close in on you in a matter of seconds, could jump fences, could be out in 90, 95-degree weather. You know, hell with your umbrella. I'm here to show out. Walk around the fields, have no problems. We used to have big ass bullies out there doing protection work on sleeves on hot days. It wasn't no shade needed. All you needed was a big bowl of water. I'm telling y'all, not because I want to sell anybody anything. What you are buying today, what is being produced today, is a very low level, insufficient product. If this dog can't move, if this dog can't breathe, if you can't look at that standard and see that standard in your dog, your breeder that you got that dog from has not done his job. It's that simple. Instead of trying to continuously change the standard for our fuck ups, why don't we stop the fuck ups and get to the standard? This is all I've been saying for the last decade. No one has ever figured out what causes the Merle, but I'm going to tell you one thing, Linda, and our breed that causes it is mixing with the Alapaha. It's just that simple. Most of these people have mixed with the Alapaha, and the Alapaha carries that trait. Several other bulldogs actually carry that trait too. A lot of the hunting bulldogs carry it. They're cheating. This is the same reason why our biggest and oldest registry in the world with this breed absolutely positively refuses to have mandatory DNA testing, because they're helping hide the lies. They know how many dogs are actually, the papers are hung. You know, it's been complaints about different things and people brought it up, but it's always held. This is why there's no mandatory DNA testing, and this is why we do have mandatory DNA testing, because all we're interested in with this breed is the truth. We want to see if our breed can actually be the best. In order for our breed to be the best, we can't live under all of these lies anymore. It can't be because you have a good friend and you're going to win a show. No, I've been, amongst the things, I'm going to tell y'all this. Amongst the things that I've been doing, you know, is the TBKC is overwhelming at times. You know, when I had gyms, I had partners, and I had partners who had experience. So the gyms made life a lot. I mean, they made life easy for me at the gym. You know, with the TBKC, I've been finding ways to do different things to make our breed grow, which is a responsibility of the registry. Um, Now, with that breed growing, we will have a lot of new faces coming in from different avenues, and we have to put on our best face, and that's why our show ring will be super clean. You know, don't get upset if one of our judges point out your flaws on your dogs. We have to retrain our brains to understand that this is dog showing. The judge is there to break your dog down. The judge is there to tell you everything that's wrong with your dog. It's not an insult to you as a person or anything. This is just how dog shows work. They're going to tell you what's wrong, and they're going to tell you why you lost to this better dog. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter at all. I'm sorry that I'm missing messages. Uh, I will share that with y'all. My vision still isn't all the way where it is. I got blurred vision, so it's really, really hard for me to read this screen at a certain point. But I tell you this, is that, you know, we're going to bring in a lot of ringers. I'm not going to even lie to y'all. The Rottweiler is a ringer in this registry. Although he's very welcomed and he's a part of the family now, the Rottweiler is a ringer. You know what I mean? The Rottweiler is a ringer. The Doberman is a ringer. You know what I mean? These dogs are coming in to set a standard that our dogs are going to have to climb to and make sure that we beat those dogs. You know what I mean? This is what we're doing. We are here to compete. If this is not a registry for you, if you're scared of competition, because you have to have the best dog. If you're not breeding for excellence, if you're not learning the standard and the way your dog is supposed to be set, the way your dog is supposed to move, the way your dog is supposed to be handled, the temperament of your dog, I want a super educated community that even when you go to pick out your puppies, you understand, I'm looking for these traits in this puppy because if I pick the wrong thing, I can't win. The funniest thing about it is that a lot of people, you know, I don't know why it's freezing. It might be my horrible internet service, but it's like clear over here, so I apologize to that. Maybe next time I'll try it without the internet service. But I tell you, you know, the way it has to be is this: we can't accept a lower level dog anymore. All of the rules that you hear people about, the kink should be a disqualification. The Merle is a disqualification. The white dog is a disqualification. These are all disqualifications. It's the same as when you go to any other registry and with any other breeds. You can't go in there with a broke-tailed dog. You can't go in there with dogs that don't fit its color. You can't go in there with a high rear dog. You can't go in there with bad feet. You can't go in there with all of these different things. We have to hold ourselves to the same standard that the best dog people in the dog world do, or this shit's a joke. And I'm just tired of it being a joke. Most of these people aren't trying to breed better dogs just quite simply because they don't have anywhere else to compare what a real American bully is supposed to be and how we're supposed to carry ourselves as an American bully community. When you see dogs that go in there that, you know, you can put with ice packs on them, when you see dogs that won't perform, when you see dogs that to your eye has a high rear, you know, the dog visibly has a horrible high rear and he gets a first place ribbon, that's discouraging to a lot of the real American bully breeders. It's discouraging to people who want to get into this breed and want to try to do anything. So, you know, like I told y'all, and I'm going to be better with this. Maybe I'm going to try, like I say, next time I go live, I'll cut off the home internet service and just run off my phone. But you know, the main thing I'm telling y'all is don't listen to nothing Dave has to say. Dave has proven himself to be a lifelong liar and sellout. And I'm just being real with you. Anything that comes along that's going to be hot, Dave is going to accept into that breed. We never accepted bulldogs. D-line. We never accepted all these screwed up dogs. That was something new that when money came into it, it was allowed. Yeah, you can come in. But, you know, the radio show will definitely be back. I'm going to keep my voice. And, you know, I mean, I see something about exotics over there. I tell you the truth, the ABKC created the exotic. ABKC created the exotic. And the reason why I say that is that anytime any other registry, like imagine if you went to the AKC and you tried to have an exotic Rottweiler, for example. They're going to kick your... So the dog talks? What is his name?
Junior.
Junior?
Yeah, Junior dog.
Junior dog? Is that a bully? That's not no bully, is it? Yeah.
That's Junior.
That's just Junior. But you know, our had to see if he was trying to mix some shit in there. Make the next generation of D-line dogs so much.
To me.
Yeah, it's two of you?
Yeah, to you.
It's two of me too. But you know, I mean, we
have two dogs.
Okay, let Daddy talk. This is my day.
Tuesday.
Yeah, this is my day. I love. I love my child, but he is a clown. He loves the camera. You love the camera? Yeah. Are you talking or is the dog talking?
Yeah.
The dog is talking? They can't see the dog. That's animal abuse, and I hope they pick your little ass up for it.
Two dogs.
Damn shame what he did to that dog. But you know, I mean, ultimately, okay, give me a second. You know, we have to get back to a point to where we really enrich our community with dog knowledge and understanding this. Sir. Okay, no D-line for a minute.
Look, two dogs.
Okay, say bye before I can finish this video.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Kiss. Mwah, you out of here. I see you in 1 minute. I come watch.
Lock the door.
Okay, you locked the door? Well, if you locked it, you know how to unlock it.
No, not me, Ed.
Okay, he's not going anywhere, so we'll see how this is. The video is this video is about to come to an end, as y'all see.
Be your spade.
Kids.
Be your
But
spade.
shh, you have to be quiet for a minute, for real. But we have to get back to a point of education in the breed to where we know what this is. I don't understand 10 years later, because Bully Rants was made about 10 years ago. Well, actually 9 years ago. But all these years later, we're still arguing about the health of our dogs. We're still arguing about if the dog should be healthy, if the dog should have good conformation. It just tells you the low mentality that our community has. How are we arguing if the dog should be the standard? I mean, the reason why this community is in an outrage half of the time is because what we see go on in the show ring and everything else that we see is that, you know, it's sad.
Yeah.
You can obviously see favoritism being shown. A friend of mine's Danny Baker. You stop it. A friend of mine's Danny Baker, you know, seen a bunch of shenanigans go on at a show this weekend, letting guys, you know, letting reps come in and out with dogs and changing. Sir, stop. And changing the classes and everything else. You know, at what point does it come down to we respect what we do and stop respecting the people who have been doing the breeds wrong? You know, I don't want people to follow the TBKC because it's like some kind of gang. I want people to come over because they feel like that they're going to be treated fairly and that the dogs are going to be promoted instead of people, and that it's about promoting and having a better dog in future generations instead of people becoming celebrities or trying to get rich. You know, I don't care if you sell your dog for $10,000, more power to you. But at the end of the day, sell a dog that's worth $10,000 for $10,000. You know. I mean, yeah, I see that, and stop. They always talk about evolving. First of all, stop abusing the word evolving. Damn dog is not evolving. You cannot have something evolve that's never been set in the first place. You know, you didn't reach your first goal, so how are you evolving? We wrote the standard, and we never got a consistent American Bully in the first place. Now this thing of evolving, what has happened, and I'll tell you what has really, really happened is that originally when the American Bully was made, it was a committee. It was a lot of us. You know, it was many different kennels. You know, it was basically the elite edge, and we all had a say-so in it, and it was a checks and balances system. What happened after the evolution of the ABKC went through so many hands from, you know, from the twins, and then it went over to R.I.P. my man Holiday, and then, you know, Dave ended up getting it back. What happened now is there is no checks and balances. And the reason, you know, and that's what has destroyed the breed. You can look at the timestamp. This breed got really, really bad when Dave got his hands on it. The reason is because he doesn't influence. I mean, he's easily influenced, and he chases money. He never stuck to this. He never stuck to the standard. He screwed a lot of people over along the way, and anything for a buck. If you look at it, Khan is his friend now because Khan was selling dogs for a lot of money, not because he has a quality dog. Me, as a guy that Dave went on video and said very much so knows what an American Bully is. And let's not forget when he was actually trying to be cool at the time, I was one of the last guys who was breeding real American Bullies. So obviously I know a little something about the dog. But, you know, Rocco sells, so this is why Rocco was a champion. Now, the kink is supposed to be heavily faulted against you. The high rear is supposed to be heavily faulted against you. You know, the bad top line is supposed to be faulted against you. How is this a nationals champion? The only reason why the dog's a national champion is because he was selling. I mean, he sells a lot of dogs. Bottom line, you know, the dog, that's it. It was the same thing with his boy Bashar. You know, Bashar sells a lot of dogs. Bashar has never really done anything in the American Bully community besides sell dogs, and tells you that he doesn't care if the dogs are not selling. He's not going to deal with them. But you got this guy prancing around your show ring. We see what it is. And all I'm saying is if that's the circus that people want to have, let them have that circus. But what I'm here to do is to create something and follow the rules. You know, it's just that simple. When it comes down to it, I just want them to. I want to create something, follow the rules, and make our breed better. And that's it. I don't care about none of the other nonsense. And when I do hear a lie, would you stop it? And when I do hear lies, like especially, you didn't even poop. I'm sitting here watching you.
I did poop.
You just pooped?
In the toilet.
In the toilet? This man needs to quit. But you know, when you hear lies, it's not a thing to attack a registry, it's to attack the lie for you people are misinformed. You know, whether it be Merles, whether it be any of these things that they try to tell you is cool, a kink tail, or any of that stuff, that's all stuff that this guy has changed to allow dogs that sell into the registry. The same reason why that extreme class was made for Dax. Anybody who sees Dax would never confuse Dax with a good conformation dog or a healthy dog for that matter. But when it turns around, they made a class for him. Right now, we're seeing history repeat itself all over again. Merle dogs are hot. They're trying to make a class for Merles. And it's all about money. Never turn away a buck. They'll point fingers and they'll tell you they're the greatest thing ever. But I'll tell you one thing about it is, if you ask me what the TBKC right now, what do we have to stand on? We only have a few shows and it'll be a gang of shows next year. Amen to that. But You've never seen a screwed up dog win any show at the TBKC, and you never will. Every dog that has ever won a show, I can call their owners, you can bring them out, you can inspect them yourself, and guess what? These are beautiful specimens that should represent the breed. And if the day comes that we have a show and not one dog there is supposed to win, no dog will win. We've had shows where we've withheld ribbons for classes already. We're only a few shows in, we are already withholding ribbons. We will not lower the standard of the American Bully, the Hermes Bulldog, the Alapaha Bulldog, the Rottweiler, or anything. Either you have a nice dog or you take your ass home.
Chocolate. Chocolate.
Where you get chocolate from? Kids hide candy. But but you know, I thank y'all for giving me the time. I can already start to feel my voice getting a little bit back to super raspy. So it's time for some green tea and honey and what was that, vinegar. But we will be back on the radio. I'm hoping, well, it's Tuesday now and I feel good. And I'll check with Miss Marlene, and I already know Belinda is ready, and I know Tori G is ready, and you know Danny ready. So the crew is ready. So I think I'm gonna be good. So hopefully we can get back on at least by Thursday. Take another day off and get it going. But before I go, paperwork. We basically redid everything, and I told everybody I thank y'all for being patient. I thank y'all for being patient, and we just redid the system, and I've talked to a lot of, I've had a lot of people help us out with different things to make everything a lot better. And so we will be starting to take paperwork again as the system is ready to get going. Sir, as the system is now ready to get going and we can get rolling, you will love the paperwork. The paperwork is very nice. And we have a lot of other things, that'll be going in our favor, but I'll tell y'all next time about some of these meetings with some of these business people and different things as they broke it down. We'll save that for something else. I'm tired. But God bless all y'all. It's good to be black. Y'all keep pushing these healthy dogs. Our community need it. Much love. Go Browns, even though that's Ohio State at. God bless y'all.